Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a review, just of a quick sort of reissue review type thing of the Bach Passions, St. John and St. Matthew, conducted by Philippe Herreweghe, or however you want to pronounce it. Now, I did a talk on works that I just never got until I heard version X. And when it came to the St. Matthew Passion, the performance that sold me on it was by this guy, Herreweghe, but it was his first one, and he did it twice. And they're quite similar, and they're both gorgeous. And the difference in St. Matthew Passions really is just the soloists. This one, the remake, actually has better soloists, but I sort of imprinted on the earlier one, so it's a sentimental favorite. Maybe it's a little warmer, fuzzier or something. But this one is gorgeous, and the soloists are Sibylla Rubens, Andreas Scholl, Mark Padmore, Sebastian Noack, and Michael Vall. And then, let's see, and there's also Ian Bostridge and Franz Joseph Selig and Werner Kura and Dietrich Henschel. So those are like soloists in these various passion performance things. Let me make sure I have them all right. Yeah, that's... Oh, okay, so there's also Dominic Moore. Oh, why do I do this? It has singers, lots of singers, and they're very, very good singers. Trust me. And the singers in this remake are generally a little bit better, particularly Andreas Scholl compared to countertenor René Jacob, who is seriously painful in just about everything he did. So, yeah, these are better. But I really, really need to talk about the performances because this is the kind of Bach that makes it tolerable for people who don't normally go for Bach, especially the Passions, which are long and grim. Well, the St. John isn't so bad. The St. John is actually a bit lighter and easier and considerably shorter than the St. Matthew Passion. And for that reason, some people, including some of you who mentioned it, say you like it better. But, I mean, the St. Matthew Passion is the grandest passion setting in existence. And it's an extraordinary work. You've got double chorus and, it's a fabulous telling of a tragic story with a narrator, the evangelist, and Jesus surrounded by his halo of strings and the crowd choruses. It's very exciting. Actually, it really can be. And the opening chorus, oh my God, it's the most gorgeous thing anybody ever wrote. And the closing chorus is the most depressing thing anybody ever wrote. And it's amazing. It's just amazing. But it's not easy. And I really think that I know that there are people who hear these things the first time and they fall in love. And I admire anybody who can fall in love with a big hunk of grim Lutheran liturgical music on a first hearing. That's a gift. That's absolutely a gift. I was not one of those people. And so I really believe in my heart that you've got to have a performance that speaks to you, immediately in terms of its flow, its sense of how the narrative unfolds, and the singers have to be just terrific. And they sing a lot of da capo arias, and da capo arias can be absolutely suicide-inducing if they're not done in an interesting way with ornamentation on the repeats. Often is not. I mean, Bach kind of writes it all out, so you don't ornament as much as you would with other composers like Handel and those guys. But you just need to have a performance that hits you. It's got to just hit you in the solar plexus. Well, Herreweghe was the guy for me, and the reason is because his Bach is not grim. It's not depressing. It all seems to float. It has beautiful flow. It has lovely warm sonorities. He's using period instruments, but he doesn't make a point of uglifying the music. He doesn't say that because they're period instruments they have to sound nasal or scratchy or unpleasant. He doesn't make an ordeal out of it. He plays the music as beautifully as he can with the resources he has. The choirs are superb. As I said, the soloists, especially this version, are great. I have no quarrel with the St. John Passion whatsoever. It's almost a perfect performance of that. It just flows along beautifully. And so I was deeply moved, and I was compelled to continue listening. And that's saying a lot with the St. Matthew Passion because it's a good 3 hours long. I mean, even if you have a period instrument version that's quicker than usual, you're going to wind up with more than 3 hours. And this reissue, it's on Harmonia Mundi. It's inexpensive. It's very nicely packaged. See? You get You get these nice little sort of foldy things in a nice sturdy box, which is not going to drive you crazy. You get a booklet, and the booklet has does it have the text? Oh, of course not. It doesn't have the texts, but it has a very, very careful track listing, which gives you the first line of each number. And if you have the first line of each number, you basically have the text, because all these people do is repeat it over and over again. And most of you probably know the story already. You know how it goes. Jesus gets crucified. That's the story. And you're in business. It's a great deal. It's really a great deal. Beautifully, beautifully recorded, and as warm and sumptuous and compelling a version of the gospel narratives, according to Bach, as you will ever hear. So if you haven't heard these and you've waited, because it can be expensive getting these recordings. I mean, they 5 discs. I mean, you're talking about multiple discs, and at full price, that can be a pretty penny. But in this case, it's quite affordable. So even if you're duplicating, if you want to hear an alternative version or something that sounds, unlike the one that you're used to, get this and give it a listen. I think you'll be happy that you did. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.